All right, episode 2. In this episode, I just basically want to go over who I am as a person because I feel like when you know someone, it's easier to relate to them, obviously, but it also will help those who watch this, my son included, whenever that may be when you're watching this. It'll just kind of help put into perspective, my life and what I've grown into and what I've, been through essentially. I'm not going to try and go on, some wild tangent of, everything that I've been through because no one cares, as they shouldn't, but I don't want this to be, a super long video. And as usual, it's going to be uncut, unedited. I want it to be raw and unfiltered to help myself out with my speaking ability and, overall, what's the word I'm looking for? Speaking ability. Being able to carry a conversation and get my point across, basically. So, my name is Tyrant. At the time of writing this, recording this, I am 28 years old. I have a son, and I'm not going to go too deep into my family, but I was raised by a single mother for quite some time. I've had a few stepdads in my life, but my father was never in the picture. I never knew what he even looked like until a few years ago. He actually sent me a friend request on Facebook, and that was the first time I ever, as a cognitive human, knew what my father looked like. Yeah, he sent me a friend request. I accepted it, and he immediately, started apologizing. And I was, I think, 23 or 24 at the time. So, yeah, at this point, I was already, I don't know. I didn't really feel like I needed to know him, if that makes sense. I didn't really want to know. I didn't want to know him. So a part of me felt bad because I don't know this guy. I don't know what he's been through. Like, I knew he struggled with drug abuse and, the prison system. That's why he justified leaving my mother and I when I was born. But, I mean, my mother and then the few stepdads that I had growing up and I guess my uncles as well, were more than enough to to raise me in a sense. And yeah, my mom did the best she could. We were, a low income household for as long as I can remember. And yeah, I mean, I did the best I could growing up. I was the oldest of three sisters. I was the man of the house for as long as I can remember. Yeah, I had some stepdads. Some stuff happened with them growing up, and for the sake of my family's privacy and security, I won't go into detail on that. At least not at this point. However, in high school, I moved out of home, lived with friends and his family, one friend in particular, and his family definitely kind of shaped me into, being more of a responsible person because, granted, my mom did the best she could, my stepdad did the best he could. There was a lot of stuff that couldn't be avoided, so I just basically I developed habits and stuff that, I was a rebellious youth. I did what I wanted to an extent. So I don't know. As soon as, my mom and stepdad split up, that's when I kind of moved out and just went through kind of another the rebellious phase, just doing a bunch of stupid shit. But after that all blew over, graduated high school, I wrestled in high school. I didn't play a lot of sports because I wasn't necessarily good at anything that included, throwing a ball or catching a ball. So I wrestled in high school, got disciplined, and, it's where I met my friends, and, graduated high school. Outside of high school, party phase, doing lots of drugs, lots of psychedelics, getting drunk, smoking weed and such. And unfortunately, I continued this habit for, because I was 18 when I graduated, up until last year is when I quit weed. So I was smoking weed for about 10 years, because I was 28. It was August of 2022 that I stopped smoking, and time of recording this is May of 2023, so I'm coming up on a year of no marijuana, and honestly it's been probably the best year of my life in terms of self-improvement and just growing as a human, because I always wanted to initially, I'm just gonna jump all over the place. So I wanted to do music. Still do to an extent. I wanted to be, rich and famous, DJ, producer, whatever, playing shows and just doing a bunch of degenerate shit. And I love music. It holds a lot of room in my heart. But there's also the point of, I don't want to just do it for money. I mean, yes, I want to get paid for what I create, but not only is the market oversaturated, but there's just, I don't, just doing it for the sake of getting money just takes a real big, part out of music for me. Corny as fuck to say, probably cliche, I don't care. I mean, I make music because I enjoy it. A lot of people would say it's not the greatest. I, for a long time, didn't think it was that great. It's not, on par with, Beethoven, Mozart, on sheet music, musically. It's not bad though. I've come a long way. Other than that, I mean, there are, where was I going with this? I wanted to do music, so I did that for a while. That's kind of why I justified, getting high and doing a lot of drugs because music under the influence of psychedelics is, it's a whole new experience. I'm not condoning the use at all, but it does, make it sound different. You feel the music essentially. Probably go over that in another episode, just because that's a whole other ball game. But on this, I just want to, explain what I've been through. So yeah, music. And then fell in love with crypto and, the height of, the bull run in 2017. I made it nothing to really bat an eye at, money-wise. But it definitely was the first time, I made money from, making an investment decision. So, and just, doing, some research on it, too, was oh, wow, this is new. It's like the internet was. So just diving into that, I fell in love with, the technology aspect, and then obviously making money from it was kind of cool. I didn't make a ton at this point, but it really opened my eyes. And then a few years passed. I still doing crypto stuff, still doing music, didn't really get any. My mindset at this point was just not, my work ethic was not good at all. I just wasted my early 20s just, doing music and stuff. I probably would have gotten somewhere with it much more so than I did if I had the drive and mindset that I do now, because not only was I inconsistent with, producing content and marketing it, but I was also very insecure with my sound and just my whole upbringing. So I wanted to fake it. I wanted to fake my image I wanted people to see like my Instagram of, me, only my highs. Like I did not want anything pertaining to my past to be visible by, anything on my social media. So I faked an image for a while. I got a bunch of followers that couldn't care less about me just by, spam following and unfollowing, just to, the cheap way to get fake followers, I guess. But so I had this fake image of myself for years, and up until a couple of years ago, probably like coming up on 2 years ago, I was just like, okay, this is like, what am I even doing? I'm only fooling myself. So took a break from music. I still dabble here and there. I play the piano regularly. I'm not amazing at it, but it keeps me, it just scratches that itch for me, plus going to the shows and everything. But yeah, so that kind of brings me to the Tyrant Empire, where I wanted to combine music, just art in general, and then blockchain technology, crypto and NFTs and all that jazz. And I mean, if you saw my last video, you'll kind of know like my stance on the current crypto market at the time of recording this. It's very, I wouldn't say demotivating, because I don't know, I guess it is in a sense. I mean, that kind of makes me feel a bit lousy, because there are still people willing to, the crypto market is in a weird state currently, but there are plans to do stuff, as I mentioned before. It's going to take time, it's going to take money, and it's going to take a team of people who know what they're doing. And I just don't feel like at this point that I should just keep pumping out, NFTs to get money to fund this project that may or may not succeed. I mean, that's what investing is. But I'm still seeing projects, launching stuff in hopes of, succeeding, and it's just burning the investors. Like every single day I'm seeing a new project that's just completely falling flat on its face, and it's unfortunate, and I just want to take a different stance. And with our token, as I mentioned before in previous video, it only increases in value. It's slow growth, but it's guaranteed growth. The way it works is completely different from anything else in the market. But since it is slow, people don't find the appeal in that. They like fast, quick money, high risk, high reward type shit. So it is what it is. So I'm focusing my efforts elsewhere, building myself. I want to document my journey as I am now in all aspects of my life. And yeah, it's humble beginnings. You can see I'm just in my office here in my apartment. Nothing special, very boring, but I have plans. I'm going to achieve my plans, so you'll be able to see my progress. And this is also half of this, whole podcast is just for myself, just so I can see the growth. And then when I'm having days where I'm like what's the point? I'll have myself in my past telling me like, hey, we started this for a reason, so let's keep it going. And then another aspect is really neat as well, just the fact that everything I put on the internet is essentially forever. So you could be watching this video 100 years from now. I could be long gone, and my son could be, you're probably watching this too. So it's really, really neat in that aspect, because I mean, we live in, we basically live on our phones, but there's very few percentage, I guess, of people who want to document their lives. And I think that's kind of a shame, because we have the potential to really, I mean, people are, posting shit posting and stuff consistently, sharing memes, and which I guess is fine in and of itself, just for the culture and humor and stuff. But there's really a lacking of humanity, I guess, to that. Everyone's flexing online, and no one's really showing their reality. And I don't know, a year ago, 2 years ago plus, I could not see myself, being this open about my life, but I feel like it is necessary because I've lied to not only myself but everyone who follows me. So, and it feels liberating to just say things how it is, and I can't wait to see where the future leads with everything going on. So, keep it short. It just hit the 15-minute mark. I got some pizza to eat. I'm currently in between appointments for my sales job, so I have about an hour to do so and get ready for my next appointment. So hopefully I get the sale, make some money. So see you tomorrow. I do plan on trying to do this. I will do this every day, whether it's, a 5-minute video or something stupid, but I will post something every day regarding my life. There's a promise I'm making to myself. So, it's a promise I'm making to you too. Have a good day.